for the opportunity to be here. It's an asset to the team. One of the times we have lots of knowledge and we have a good system. I'm very confident you're going to help us move forward this race. You know, I don't know how many of you ever heard me talk before? Thank you. I want you to tell you, it's been a privilege to serve. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is not a career for me. This is nothing I did to go to Washington, D.C. and do something that I've aspired to do forever, had any intention of doing in my entire life. But the background I come from, my father and mother always used to say, I have to tell you this part, because it's important. Son, don't come to me with a problem, just get an answer to fix it, because you sure as heck ain't gonna like the mouth. Son, if you want the horse and the buggy to go where you want it to go, take control rein, stop sitting on the back of the saddle. So that's how I get involved. I don't whine about things. That was his 11th commandment, by the way. Thou shalt not whine.
I like it.
So I don't whine, I don't complain, I get involved. I believe that's our obligation. And that's what you're doing here. That's why we need to fill this room bigger and bigger. It's frustrating, as we've talked about, to see groups like this continue to shrink. That's why we've got the country we've got. We need more groups, we need religious groups, we need all kinds of types of groups that work together, affiliate together. So continue to hang on as long as you can and try to exercise those skills to be able to bring people out. I know it's frustrating, but they have to understand. Everybody has an obligation. I have 4 children that I love to death. Now I have 3 grandsons and a granddaughter on the way. So I'd like to say that I ran because it was for you. No lie. I'm self-serving. I did this for my children. Because I don't believe my children have the same privileges and opportunities that I did as a child growing up. And it scares me. And I sound a little bit arrogant, but I'm just a good old construction worker for 40 years. I'm not scared of man or beast. I'm not even scared of death. But I'm terrified of what's going on in our country. And I think that the officials have the same situation. But what I do for my children, I believe, benefits us all. Because I've never done anything to disenfranchise. You know, I am a 5th generation son of farm ranchers out of Mesquite, Nevada. Proud to say that my grandfather was the first baby born in Mesquite. My great-great-grandfather's original settler in Nevada. So that's cool to be here since the 1870s. Our family to me. But that background and that caring is probably where I am today. Brought up with pretty humble roots, been blessed to be very successful in my life, and it's my turn to give back. I don't care how successful you are, it's always your turn to give back. That's what made this nation great, was people giving out selfless service. Now, I'm not saying I'm selfless service, but that's what makes us great. That's what we need to continue to do. Now, as a first-term legislator, I'd like to tell you a little bit about some of the joys that I've had and some of the things that I'm positive about. And I'll tell you a little bit about Congress and some of the negatives. You know, to be a guy that worked in the construction industry and have the opportunity to go back to D.C. and be selected to be on transportation and infrastructure was a great privilege for me. That's what I've done my whole life. Many of you may or may not know, I've been privileged to work here in the Las Vegas Valley, to be on the Las Vegas Regional Transportation Commission, Regional Flood Control District. For 14 years, I served on the commission and on the Executive Advisory Committee. So I understand the issues that go on with transportation. So to get selected for that was great. To be selected as a subcommittee, to be the vice chairman in my first year over highway and transit, and to be able to come out of there the first major transportation long-term funding bill in 20 plus years, that's pretty cool. And just to be the vice chairman of that. And to actually be the only committee member that was called a conference. You may not understand what the conference committees are, but you know, we have 435 people in the House. And it's usually 14 people get called from the House side to conference, with the Senate side, I think it's 6 or 8 they have over there. And that's cool. And I was the only delegate from the state of Nevada that said on that. Hence, we got funding for I-11, not only from Phoenix to Las Vegas, But we got new designation for I-11 from Las Vegas to I-80 North. What does that mean? Some people, that doesn't mean a whole lot. Do you realize that Phoenix and Las Vegas are the only two major cities in the nation that don't have major thoroughfares, intersecting interstates going through? And if you look at the cities that have the greatest success, and those points of greatest success, or where you have those interchanges intersecting, that's where jobs and economy are created. This funding for the I-11 corridor, its CBO says it'll create about 240,000 jobs over the course of construction. It'll create, it's going to bring to us about $24 billion in construction benefits. $29 billion in long-term travel benefits for our state. It's huge. So this is spending money, but it's the right thing to do. People get frustrated, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a tax spending guy. I believe in taxing for things because we need them, but they should be targeted taxes. I was the individual in the 2013 state legislature that passed AB 413. What does that mean to you? If you look around town and you see all these projects being worked on in town, that's the fuel index. Yes, you're paying 3 cents a gallon per year, so upwards of 10 cents for 10 years for fuel to help expand our infrastructure. Cities grow when they have growing infrastructure. Cities decline like Detroit when they don't have good solid infrastructure. Businesses look for places that have the best infrastructure. So that's why it was important to me to pass that along with Mayor Kirkpatrick and the rest of the legislative body. And so, but it's a targeted tax. It's not a silo tax where everybody can take their hand and start pulling money out. So I believe the Republicans like targeted taxes. If we're going to do it, we want to know where it's going, where it's going to be spent, and how much it's going to cost. But that's what I believe the federal level we need to do. Lease law from every direction in the world to pay for this FAST Act for the next 5 years. So if it frustrates you, let me know now that I still will do what my constituents want. And my district goes from Lake Mead Boulevard all the way north, and I have 6 rural counties: Lincoln County, White Pine County, Edgewood County, Pine County, Mineral County, So it's 500 miles east to west, about 330 miles north to south. Travel times. Only 14% live in the rural counties. 86% live right here in the Las Vegas County area. But that's what I want to focus on in transportation infrastructure is a long-term funding situation that doesn't cost a lot of money. We can move forward and continue to get our infrastructure back in this country. To me, infrastructure is a national safety issue, along with everything else. The other subcommittee that I had the opportunity to be on is pipeline and rail. Pipeline and rail is important to our country and important to the West. So I believe that's been a privilege for me. The other issue is waters of the U.S. That's probably the biggest issue for the West of anything out there. I don't know if many of you understand the consequences of what's going on with this administration. They want to regulate your swimming pool. They want to regulate your mud pump. Seriously. That's what these, so we've done everything we could to continue to fight this guy out. He can't get out of office soon enough for me. So those are two subjects. Also, natural resources is another committee I have to be on. And for me, nothing better than the state of Nevada about natural resources. I happen to be on public lands, which we have 85% in our state that's held by the federal government. Ask yourself why we have some of the hardest funding struggles of any place in the nation. Because we don't own the land like our founding fathers intended. You'll have the other side talk about how the environment, how we, protect this is we the people's land. So where they're wrong, Steve Sebelius can take it and show where the sun don't shine. He's wrong. Section 3.4 of the Constitution does not say that the federal government has the opportunity to regulate state lands. It has the authority to regulate territories. When you become a particular territory and turn it into the state, our founding fathers intended for us to be on fair and equal footings with all other states. That we should have our lands for taxation, for education, infrastructure, and others. Now, we don't have to dig it all up, but let us determine what we want to do. Not the federal government tell us to continue trying to lock us out of it. Yes, we have Red Rocks, beautiful place. I I think we would have been smart enough to put that there without the federal government. That's one of the issues. The other one that I have to be on is minerals and energy and natural resources. So it's Nevada very well. And then the other subject or committee I'm on is small business. Something near and dear to me. And to be the chairman over oversight and regulation is very cool. Because that's one of the things that frustrates me. Is regulation, what it's caused on the economy. And to fight against the regulations this administration's hand out. Last year, 2015, between January and December, this administration pumped out 82,035 pages of new regulations. Think of that. For every business, that's 300 pages, almost a working day, that somebody would have to read to find out whether you're violating. Part of this regulation has to do with the overtime rule. How many of you are familiar with that? It's going to destroy our economy. Folks, we have people, it's going to cost, just in one business that I know of here in town, it will destroy the economy of 1,700 employees. These people are all on salaries. The people that work in lower paying jobs, but right now they make about $37,000 a year. This rule will say that every hour they make overtime. Sounds great that they're getting paid overtime. But do you understand this business, when it's busy here in our community, they work 10, maybe 12 hours a day. But when it's slow, they may work only 4 hours a day. But they get paid the same on that salary, even in slow months when they're not doing much here, versus most people ain't smart enough to put their money away where they're supposed to. So what's that going to do to us when they get paid for that overtime? Yeah, they make a little bit more, but they're not going to have it when they need it. So that's just one of the regulations. The franchise rule. Anybody know what that is? They want to have you tell you now that if you're a small business owner of McDonald's or Subway or something like that, if you own that small business, but guess what? The parent company is now responsible for all those employees. It's easier for them to unionize. It's easier for them now to go to and sue the big company. So guess what? You're not going to have franchises anymore. You're going to have big companies. You're going to say, well, if I got to do it, I'm just going to take it over. These are the kind of issues that I'm finding back in D.C. I promise I can tell you positive for that problem. As a freshman, I want you to tell you this. I was very frustrated. Being a business guy, not tied to politics in any way, I thought I would be one of a kind. Let me tell you what's happening in our country. Going back there, almost, I think it was 46 or 47 freshmen. I can tell you that 38 to 40 of those freshmen are business guys just like me. They've left their business, they've left their practices. They're scared to death of what's going on in this country. Instead of staying at their homes and taking the business and moving forward, they've gone to Congress because they're scared. And I think that was also the 2010. A lot of those were business people. So you have people that are there that care for not long-term politicians in the Republican Party. We talk about term limits. 75% of the Republicans elected into office have been there less than 6 years. Imagine that. We talk about term limits, they've been there less than 6 years. And the majority of them are leaving to go home. There's 25 of them leaving to go home. Because they're frustrated that they can't get things done that they want to because of this administration. They may be concerned about whether they get Donald Trump as president or whether they get a Republican president or not. I don't know what all the frustrations are. But it's positive to know that people are stepping up and playing good. It's not just big government, at least on our side. We get told all the time that the Democratic Party is the party of the youth. Here's a positive for you. Did you know that the Democrat Party average age is about 65, 66 years old? The average age of the Republican is 58. Did you know that the Republicans here, the youth, they're always in their party? We have 29 people under the age of 40 on the Republican side. They have 9. Did you know that the Republicans have elected the youngest male and female in Congress? They're the ones, not the Democrats, it was us. I think that's pretty cool, but you don't hear about that on the press. So if I have one recommendation for you, including Cox, you want to know the truth, what's going on in Congress? Don't watch the news. Damn. It's all about the big market selling yourself. You know this thing with John Boehner, you guys all maybe got frustrated going on. It wasn't going on back there with our party. We had a handful of guys that were doing, having their thing, but we still were like a bunch of kids. We fight, we get over, we'll play together. And it wasn't a big issue, but the Sean Hannitys of the world wanted it was a big issue. And I let others, that was frustrating for me to see some of the same guys that I used to think were telling me the truth. Not the truth, watch C-SPAN. It's right on time, it shows you exactly what's going on. It's boring as hell, but it's the truth. So, it's a true privilege. I think that we've been blessed, or at least I've been blessed with the opportunity to deal with things that I know. To tell you that I know everything, I'm not. But I can tell you one thing I'm proud of. I was on the rating back there for Congress. I have the highest conservative rating of all the delegates in the state of Nevada in my first term. We have the most diverse district for a held by a Republican in the nation. I have the most diverse district held by a Republican in the nation. I'm the number one target for Democrats, by the way. If you're going to be something, you're just going to be number one, so I'm proud of it. But with that being said, Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid have already dumped $6.5 million into this race for Ruben Kuhn. I hope they spend more, because I'm still defeated. I want them to waste their money. And I'm not an optimist. Anybody that knows me, I'm not an optimist. I get pretty pessimistic about things. And all a pessimist is an optimist with experience, so we understand that. So with that being said, I'm going to beat Ruben Kuhn.
Yes.
I really know what I'm going to beat. I don't know why. Congressman Joe Head is going to beat Catherine. Donald Trump is going to be our next president. With that being said, I don't know what the rattle on me go on forever about stupid things and go on about nothing. So that's what us politicians do. And now I am part of the regime because I've been there 17 months. But one thing I want to say, and I want people to understand something. I've had some real frustration this week with my own party. I'm very, very offended, and I don't know if any of you have that thought here, but if you run into somebody, you may agree with them, you may not. But when they start bitching about me not being at the Republican National Convention, I want you to understand something. I'm not a delegate. I was Romney's #1 supporter last time. I didn't go to his convention either. Doesn't mean I'm not supporting Donald Trump. Do you realize that the majority of Congress never goes to these conventions? Why should we go there if we're not a delegate? This is a we the people thing. Let the delegates do their job. I don't need to go there and look like I'm pretty on the show. I got a race to win. And guess what? You elected me to do a job. I have done that job. I've come home every weekend except for 4 in 17 months. Every weekend except 4. And guess what? I've been in the work in the district every weekend. I didn't take this job to be a tireless, to somebody just to go and sit there and do things. I come here to represent the people. Now, you're all Republicans. But you know what? I got elected as a Republican. But my job as a congressman, I have almost 730,000 people in my district. And guess what? The majority were Democrats. The obligation of a representative is to represent the people of that district.
Right.
Not just Republicans, but Democrats, Independents, and Libertarians. I've done it. I've represented our veterans. Last year, we solved that's in 2015, we solved over 400 cases in my office. Social Security, Medicare, and veterans issues. 200 of those veterans issues brought home $500,000 to veterans that was owed to them. It's frustrating to have to go to your congressman to get them to do the job we're supposed to pay to do in the first place. We're fighting to work on those issues. But thanks to Harry Reid, it comes out of the House. We passed, just to give you an idea, we passed in the House last year 68 veterans bills. Senate passed 18. Not because the Senate's slow. It takes 60 votes to get out of the Senate to move, just to bring it to the table. Harry Reid frustrates everything. He's still in charge. We have 54 senators, so don't blame the senators. You can be as frustrated as you want. We're in charge. But I didn't understand that it took 60 votes. Something needs to change there, by the way, because we got Obamacare with 51 by nuclear options set up by Harry Reid. So he stops everything. But with that being said, we did some other issues. We got 38 resolutions passed. But most everything that got to the desk from the president still got vetoed. This guy doesn't care about senior citizens.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, Democrats don't care about senior citizens. When you steal $716 billion from Medicare and put it into your Obamacare plan, now senior citizens have to wait sometimes 6 and 8 months just to see their doctor. Is that the plan? So Republicans are trying to save your Medicare and my Medicare, my Social Security, your Social Security. Trying to save our veterans, but you don't. I don't know how we relay that. We've talked about this message, but you don't see that on the press. So I want you to do me a favor. You want to go see some stuff that's really good that Republicans have been working on for the last 6-8 months? Because we know we can't get it through the House. But we're praying, fasting, and hoping that we have a Republican president who will stand with us. Go look at something you haven't heard about. It's called A Better Way. We're doing tax reform. And it's not just talking about it. It's a plan of tax reform. We're talking about repealing and replacing Obamacare. You're not going to get rid of it. But we can replace it and make it better, make it so it doesn't impact our economy. We're doing things that have to do with regulations, the REINS Act. Lots of different avenues to stop the regulatory side of the thing. You know, the enumerated power set up by our founding fathers was given to the federal government. Very few of those, if you want to read Article 1, Section. Forever, just lost that off my head, but that was back in my mind. Anyway, Article 1, Section 8 tells you about enumerated powers. All the rest were left to the states. Let's get it back to the states, it's closest to the people. That's what the founding fathers. That's what I'm there for.
Right.
I'm a constitutional conservative first. But one other thing I'd like to leave you with. People always tell me good luck. I can tell you, I don't need luck. I need prayers. Our nation needs prayers.
Right.
We're losing it. We need to gain it. We need to get it back. Through the prayers of you, many are blessed. Now, I'm not the most perfect individual, but I believe there's a higher authority. You want it? Get your knees. Humble yourself. Help us out. That's what you can do. If you want to know what you can do, that's what you can do. Get people involved. God will guide us and guide the people who will help us. That's my belief. Because there's no doubt in my mind, our founding fathers, they were the most intelligent of their day, and there's nobody here today on earth that has the same talent and ability that they did. Because I don't think people turned their hearts to God like they did. Can you imagine our founding fathers, the biggest egos probably anywhere at the time, all together in one room? But they got through it because they relied on the higher authority. Now, that's where Crescent Party comes from. I truly believe that if we can get back there, we can save this country. Sorry. If we don't, my children, my grandchildren, your children, all of our posterity are going to pay for this. And it's something if we don't get back quick, I'm scared to death. So that'll put you asking a question. What the heck's going on? I'm a big fat guy that usually beat people up. I'm a Neanderthal and I enjoy that because you know as construction workers we have a different way than they do in Washington D.C. Construction workers, when they have an issue, they just beat the hell out of each other. And you're happy and you're done with it. But back there, you know, everybody holds a grudge, offended by everything. Can't say this, can't say that. And that's frustrating to me. So, with that, I'll turn the time over to you to ask questions. Yes?
When you think of the Tesla, you're interested in infrastructure, the Tesla factory, tell me.
I'm going to tell you, the Tesla or the Faraday?
We have Faraday down here.
Okay, Faraday's down south here. I'm going to tell you something that I want everything that can help our economy to come, especially in my district. That's my district. Here's one of the concerns I have. Chinese company, and I didn't know this until I got to Congress. This is not a confidential thing that I can't tell you. But Nellis and Creech are terrified about Faraday. I didn't know this until they talked to me, and hopefully you guys will stay legislators. I left this message with the governor, I left with and then with other legislators, to make sure it left the door open that our military, with Dallas Air Force, can come and do a random check of Fairfield. Chinese company, they don't create anything, they steal our intellectual properties. They are sitting here at our Air Force bases all over this country, watching things go, watching things come, stealing our intellectual properties.
Wow.
They are scared to death. When you have an electronic plant, what are they going to put in there to steal our intellectual property? Why did they come to Las Vegas? Why did they pick the most choice piece of property to target Nellis and Creech? Every plane comes in and out, goes over that spot right there. So that's their concern. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's got them scared to death. And if we don't listen to our military people, then I guess we really are stupid like Hillary Clinton. So I think it's a great thing if it's done right, we can watch it. Anybody else?
That's a good question. Holy
Very
smokes.
good. Really good question.
That it? Come on, you give me one call. I want to say one last thing though. I heard something today that some people have concern that I'm not here. I'm not there to bring another Republican Party. I appreciate all you do. But would you rather have me work in my district and do what you hired me to do than come and entertain you all day long? And I appreciate these opportunities, but I shouldn't have to come every month to everybody's party. Let me do my job. That's what you hired me to do. That's what we've got wrong with this country. Tell me to go to work and get the hell out of the room. You know, that's what I want. You might be smarter than I am. You might have lots of other things you're blessed with, but you will not outwork me. That's one gift that my God and my parents taught me.
I wanted to add just one thought, and that is that we must remember the Lord is willing to help us anytime we ask for the help. But we have to show Him and talk to Him about wanting His help. Then He will be there. And why it is so important for all of us to take as a regular daily process our praying to the dear Lord and asking Him for help, and most importantly, thanking Him for everything He does for us.
And if you are truly of that belief, don't hide it.
Right.
Keep your candle under a bushel. Okay, so there you go. Thanks.